if you have IRS tax debt that you need to pay, this right here will help you. We run into people all the time who often say that they owe the IRS or they need some type of repayment plan. And instead of jumping through hoops, let's go directly to the source, which is the IRS.gov. And if you need assistance with filing your taxes all together, there'll be a link available in the description. So that being said, get help with tax debt. So if you owe tax debt and can't pay all or part of it, the IRS can help. You have options to resolve your tax bill, and basically you can start paying going directly through the site. And if you can't pay for it, then it's a link down there that allows you to do that. If you can pay part of your balance, pay what you can now to help avoid interest and penalties and possible things that they can try to, extract from you as well. Then choose one of these options below. So they have a pay over time option. You can apply basically for a payment plan. It's called an installment or online payment agreement. So if you see any of that verbiage, then know that that's what that is, and that allows you to pay off your balance over time. However, fees may apply, and you can go directly inside and get access to that as well. Offer in compromise. So an offer in compromise lets you settle your tax debt for less than what you owe. This used to be called the Fresh Start program. So if you heard of the Fresh Start program, then this is that. But they call it an offer in compromise now. So basically you're negotiating for what you're able to pay, or settling, not necessarily a negotiation, but it's a settlement. So if you owed $5,000, the settlement might be, you can pay $3,500, you can pay $3,000, whatever that amount is, just to get you out of the harm of what could come from not paying your taxes, but at the same time position you with a solution that can at least get them out of the way. And it just is at a lower cost. Now, there are some things that may come from that. It may show up in certain areas since you did pay a lower amount, but it's better than avoiding it together. Now, you do have to see if you're eligible for an offer in compromise, because not everybody will qualify or be eligible for that. So you would click that link to determine if you're eligible for that. And that could be a great solution for many people. If you can't pay anything now, then you should ask about the delay collection. So if you can't afford to pay because of your financial condition, you can ask to temporarily delay the collection. So basically, it's kind of putting it in deferment. Many people are familiar with this terminology when it comes to student loans. Well, that same thing is available with taxes, and you're just asking them to temporarily delay the collection. You're not hiding, ducking, dodging, avoiding. You're like, hey, let's delay this based on these circumstances. So hopefully that helps. Now, if you disagree with the information on your tax bill, which many people often do, because you know that you legitimately qualify for certain tax deductions, you know that you had certain tax credits, you know that, you shouldn't have been charged the amount that you were charged based on whatever factors, if you're really paying attention to your tax liability, then you can call the number on the notice, or you can visit a local IRS office. But be sure to have a copy of the bill and any tax returns, cancel checks, or other records to help understand why you believe your bill is wrong. So record keeping is going to be key, especially if you are someone who has businesses and a side business, online business, side gig, whatever you want to call it, in addition to your job. For most people who have a job, they're usually not having to worry about certain records. However, you do just want to pay attention to how much is coming out of your check, because what happens is sometimes people file exempt for so long, and when they file exempt, they're not paying into the taxes, and when they're not paying into the taxes, they find themselves having a tax bill that they're not able to pay because they went exempt for so long. And they may have taken some bad advice and not understood that, listen, it's okay to keep more of your money, but you want to have a strategy that goes along with it. We tell people all the time, even when we teach about the W-4, have a strategy to go along with it. If you're keeping more of your money, then you need to have some type of strategy that can allow you to lower your tax liability, whether that's having a side business, which is what we highly recommend because it unlocks 400 plus tax deductions and allows you to write off things you may be already spending money on anyway, such as your phone bill, such as your internet, such as your miles, such as certain travel, such as certain meals, things of that nature. So it's a lot of things you may already be doing, but if you incorporate that into having a side business and it helping you produce a profit, now it positions you to have tax deductions with the proper record keeping. But you also may want to offset your tax liability through certain investments. So investing in certain traditional IRAs or 401ks can position you to lower your tax liability. So if you ever keep more of your paycheck, just know that it should be a strategy to go along with it. You don't just do that without having something else that can put you in a position to still keep more of your money, but at the same time, not get caught off guard when it's time to file taxes, which is what many people have done. They'll take just the headline of what somebody is saying about keep all of your money, but not look into the details. And if you do that, then you leave some information out that you probably really needed that could have really, really helped you in that situation. So if they find that you're right, they'll adjust your account. And if necessary, send a revised bill. So sometimes it might not be that it wipes out everything. It just might revise the bill. Now, you can also request spouse relief. If your spouse made errors on your joint return and you didn't know about it, you may qualify for tax relief for spouses. That happens sometimes. People may file certain kind of ways, and the spouse gets hit off guard based on something the other spouse did, and they can file for spouse relief as well, just based on it. Now, if you're in bankruptcy, let them know immediately, and they may temporarily stop the collection just because you're in bankruptcy. And you can call that number that's shown right there, or you can call whatever is showing up on your bill. So have this information ready: location of court, bankruptcy date, chapter, and bankruptcy number. So they want to know that, it's an official bankruptcy. You're not just saying it. So they want you to have those dates and things in place. So that way, they can halt it temporarily. Now, if you don't pay the amount due or contact them, then they may take collection actions. And those collection actions can consist of several different things. So it's best to just take heed to this information versus worrying about what the collection actions are likely to be. Plan for next year. So you should plan, or you should pay taxes as you earn or receive income during the year. You can do this by having your employer withhold tax from your wages, or by making estimated tax payments. So this is what I was talking about. The W-4 is what allows you to determine how much you want withheld from your paycheck. For most people, they are overpaying in taxes, meaning they're having too much taken out. Some people prefer that because it's like, okay, at least I don't have to worry about owing because I overpaid, and now I can just get it on the back end in the form of a refund. There are better strategies and better ways that can show you how to take that money, invest that money, grow that money versus just overpaying in taxes. However, when it comes to taxes, they're talking about planning for next year by saying, okay, if you made this amount of money, then you want to make sure that you paid this amount in taxes or had that amount set aside to pay for taxes futuristically, or in what I was saying, making sure that you have the tax deductions to justify the income that was earned. So that way, when you file your taxes, you're more likely to be in position for a refund versus having to pay. So that's a perspective shift that many people don't understand. So basically, the choice is yours. Now, you can get help. There are some options. You can set up your account with a payment plan, view your balance, and get your transcript in your account. So you'll set up an IRS account, and this will allow you to do the things that I mentioned and just be able to have a direct connection, a direct access to the IRS without necessarily having to go through certain hoops and middlemen. They'll give you a QR code on your notice. You can scan it for information if you like to, document upload tool, phone numbers that you can access. You can get in-person help, taxpayer advocate service, basically an independent organization within the IRS, and the service protects your rights under the Taxpayer Bill of Rights, helps you resolve problems with the IRS, and recommends changes that will prevent problems. They also have some third-party authorizations. Basically you can authorize someone to contact the IRS with you on your behalf. So if you're having someone that's helping you because that they know their stuff or whatever the case may be, then, they'll have to be awarded or given third-party authorization. So that is an option if you don't want to go directly through the IRS yourself because of whatever those reasons are. You don't feel comfortable, you don't want to do it, then you can have somebody to do it on your behalf. Preferably like, somebody who's a tax attorney, somebody who understands those things. However, avoid scams. This is why I wanted you to go directly to the IRS and show you this so you can avoid the scams that come along with people knowing about your information, tax situations, etc. So the IRS won't call, text, or contact you via social media to demand immediate payment. They begin with a letter in the mail and explain how you can appeal or question what you owe. If you're unsure whether you owe money to the IRS, you can view your tax account information on the IRS.gov. So that way, if you're like, hold on, I received something or this happened and I'm not sure about it, you can go in and view it on the IRS.gov. So beware of phone scam. Criminals impersonate IRS employees and call taxpayers in aggressive and sophisticated ways. Imposters claim to be IRS employees and sound very convincing. Because if you understand a scammer or somebody who knows how to play their role, they can sound very convincing. Almost sound like a great conversation, like almost like a friend. But lo and behold, that good energy that you thought you was feeling was actually somebody knowing how to sound very convincing. So some companies appear to be IRS or offer to help settle tax debt through Fresh Start program. So learn how to settle your debt with the IRS on your own directly in here, regardless of what it says. If it's not irs.gov or if it's not inside of your IRS portal, then you may want to stay away from it. So hopefully this helps somebody who needs help with tax debt. If you need assistance with having your taxes filed and not being overcharged fees and legally maximizing your refund and understanding how to lower your tax liability, then there'll be a link in the description below. That's all I got. Mr. Smith signing out. Salute.